Currently, the use of visual management is using in Japanese industries. However, we should know the utilization of this method accurately. For this reason, I decided to organize the correct usage in this series, from the perspective of information science this time. This figure shows main points of the information science. There are many kinds of methods to convey information. According to the science of information, in many cases, people will be able to accurate meaning of information if you will capture information as images in the right brain. For this reason, we are using the method on the right side of the figure. It became the visual management. I would like to explain some effects of using the imaging method by big brain physiologists. This is an example showing ideas and situation of inventions. It is extremely difficult for ordinary people to grasp the contents of the brains the genius is thinking. However, there are many cases that the general public can understand by showing the content and composition by diagram and so on. According to Mr. Jacques Welch, who was a former chairman of GE, he said he had a hard time in devising a management strategy and telling the results to his company managers. According to his story, he said, when he was eating with his wife, he came up with a strategy chart. He interrupted their meal and he wrote GE's strategy on the tablecloth. At that time, he thought that GE's strategy was clarified, and he presented it to his wife. She said it is an easy-to-understand manner. It is the famous story that this figure was used for strategic development of GE in a while. The diagrams used by Mr. Jacques Welch in the previous section were of a very high value to GE employees. The reason of it was that he provided information to employees in a good environment shown in this figure. However, if the other person knows the information which you want to give the opponent, its value will decrease. This notice is called value analysis by the information science. So, measures to provide only high-value information are necessary for visualization measures. Using this figure, I would like to introduce an example about not-so-good visualization usage of a company which was guided by Mr. Nakamura. At here, the site managers took many times to create a lot of visual displays. In the workplace where many defects were occurring, the administrator spent several hours a week and was preparing graphs and activity countermeasure activity materials. Mr. Nakamura, who saw this situation, asked the administrator to stop making the display for 1 month, and told the zero defects methods and started some countermeasures. As a result, the defect was zero soon, and the display created over time has become unnecessary. What I would like to explain in this case is that that kind of visualization is one of the problem-resolving tools. Therefore, when you will use this type of tool, you should evaluate its purpose and effect of it in advance. Unlike the previous case, I would like to introduce an example of visualization methods when Mr. Nakamura promoted new products startup along with the use of on-decoy. This method is a very effective method, so I introduced it here. For on-decoy members, please ask Mr. Nakamura about this detailed content.